Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We're here at the mausoleum of the Conqueror himself, Sultan Mehmet. At Open Madrasa, we are always looking for inspiration and inspirational figures from our history, particularly with regards to Islamic learning and intellectualism. This, albeit a great sultan, was also a great scholar, a great poet, a great warrior. He has an entire diwan under a pen name called Avani. He also has a huge amount of scholarship. He knew 7 languages. He studied all of the major works in Islamic philosophy, theology, grammar, and other subjects. In fact, I have for you a wonderful story that is mentioned by the great Ahmed Tashkiprizadeh in his famous work, Al-Shaqa'iq Al-Nu'maniyya fi Ulama Al-Dawla Al-Uthmaniyya. He mentions that when the great Madrasa in Iznik lost its head teacher, they wanted to find a new teacher. So Sultan Mehmet asks his Grand Vizier Mahmud Pasha, whom do you have in mind? Who can replace the great Mudir that has passed away? Mahmud Pasha says, I have just the man, the great Mulla Khiyali. Anyone that has knowledge of the Islamic intellectual tradition knows just how important Mulla Khiyali is. Buried himself in Bursa, a great Ottoman scholar. Fatih Sultan Mehmet immediately says to Mahmud Pasha, is that the Mulla Khiyali that mentioned you in the introduction to his gloss on the famous Sharh al-Aqaid, which is one of the great classics of Islamic theology? Mahmud Pasha says, yes, that's the one. Fatih Sultan Mehmet agrees, he is the right person. That one story, although one could read it passingly in the Shaqa'iq, you learn something hugely important, that Fatih Sultan Mehmet was reading the greatest, most advanced theological works of his age. He was fully aware of what was happening in the Islamic intellectual tradition. In fact, the great I'jazul Quran, a famous work written about the miracle, the linguistic miracle of the Quran, a masterpiece of Arabic rhetoric, the scribe in the Ottoman tradition famously, and you can still find it here in Turkey, writes at the beginning of his writing out of that text that I have written this book particularly for Fatih Sultan Mehmet, for his mutala'ah, he uses, meaning for his study and his personal research. The Sultan, the king of such a grand empire, the conqueror of Constantinople, is reading the highest text of Arabic rhetoric and theology. A great poet produces one of the great diwans in poetry in his time. What kind of sultans were these? What kind of people were these? But they are our ancestors, and from that we take huge amounts of inspiration. And as I said, at Open Madrasa, we are looking for all of those inspirational figures, and we have one right here in the form of Fatih Sultan Mehmet. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.